Welcome to another episode of Eagle's Perch Leadership Watch. Johannesburg, once the gleaming economic engine of Africa, is now a city on its knees, gasping for air. The so-called City of Gold has lost its luster, tarnished by years of staggering incompetence and political chaos. The situation is not just bad. It is a full-blown crisis demanding immediate and drastic action. Residents are trapped in a nightmare of failing services, rampant crime, a complete breakdown of governance. The endless political squabbling and coalition turmoil have left the city rudderless, drifting towards total collapse. This isn't just a political debate for talking heads on television. It is a daily, grinding reality for millions of people whose lives and livelihoods are at stake. The sense of urgency cannot be overstated. We are talking about a major global city that is visibly crumbling day by day. The constant power cuts, known as load shedding, are just the tip of the iceberg. Water supplies are unreliable, with some neighbourhoods going days or even weeks without a single drop. Potholes have turned roads into obstacle courses, damaging vehicles and endangering lives. The city's infrastructure is decaying at an alarming rate, a direct result of neglect and mismanagement. The people of Johannesburg are paying their rates and taxes, but what are they getting in return? The answer, quite frankly, is a slap in the face. Let's be brutally honest and look at the cold, hard facts. The statistics paint a picture of a city in a state of emergency. Financially, Johannesburg is on the brink. The city's own financial reports show a massive budget deficit with billions of rands in unpaid debts owed to Eskom, owed to Rand Water. In plain English, the city is broke. It is failing to collect the revenue it is owed. The collection rate for rates and services is plummeting. This isn't just an accounting problem. It means there's no money to fix the broken water pipes, repair the power stations, or even pay the people who are supposed to keep the city running. The failure to deliver basic services is staggering. According to recent data, Johannesburg Water loses over 40% of its clean, treated water to leaks to illegal connections before it even reaches a paying customer's tap. That is an almost unbelievable level of waste and incompetence. For electricity, City Power is battling constant cable theft and infrastructure failures, leading to prolonged outages that go far beyond national load shedding. Refuse collection is erratic, including stray dogs, creating a serious public health hazard. These are not minor inconveniences. They are fundamental failures to provide the most basic services a modern city should guarantee. Governance has completely collapsed. Since 2016, Johannesburg has been governed by a series of weak and unstable coalition governments. The city has seen more mayors in the last few years than most countries see in a decade. This political merry-go-round has created a vacuum of authority and accountability. Officials are appointed based on political deals rather than competence, leading to a city administration filled with people who are simply not up to the job. The Auditor General's reports have repeatedly flagged irregular expenditure running into the billions, which is a polite way of saying money is being spent without following the rules, often disappearing into a black hole of corruption and mismanagement. The human cost of this chaos is immense and cannot be ignored. The official unemployment rate in the metro hovers around a devastating 38%, but the reality on the ground is likely much worse. Businesses are closing down or relocating, unable to operate in an environment with no reliable power or water. This exodus of jobs and investment creates a vicious cycle of poverty and despair, which in turn fuels the city's terrifyingly high crime rates. The failure of the city's leadership is not an abstract concept. It is directly responsible for destroying jobs, wrecking lives, and making the city unsafe for its own residents. The time for excuses is over. In this desperate search for a saviour, one name keeps coming up: Helen Zille. Zille is a polarising figure, but no one can deny her track record, her career, a reputation for tough, no-nonsense administration. Mayor of Cape Town, 2006 to 2009. Credited with turning the city's finances around and improving service delivery. She inherited a city with significant problems. Through sheer force of will and meticulous attention to detail, she managed to get the basics right. She ran a tight ship, something Johannesburg is crying out for. They manage their finances, they maintain their infrastructure, they keep the lights on and the water running. This isn't a miracle. It's disciplined governance. It's systematic governance. It's ethical governance. The argument: Zille has the blueprint for success and the experience to implement it in a larger, more complex Johannesburg. But it's not just past success. It's about political will. Zille doesn't shy away from a fight, taking on vested interests, challenging cadre deployment, confronting corruption. She will fire underperforming officials. She exposes wrongdoing despite political backlash. In a city where corruption is endemic and the administration is bloated with political appointees, that willingness to clean house is seen by many as essential. The question: is this combative style what Johannesburg needs right now? Let's not be naive. If Helen Zille were to take the helm in Johannesburg, she would not be walking into a welcoming parade. She would be facing a mountain of challenges. That would make her time in Cape Town look, honestly, like a walk in the park. First and foremost, she would have to navigate the treacherous political landscape of a hung council. Johannesburg is a snake pit of dozens of political parties, each with its own agenda. Forging a stable, functional coalition from this chaos would be a monumental task. The second major hurdle is the deeply entrenched bureaucracy. Many officials were appointed through political patronage over years. They have a vested interest in keeping the inefficient, corrupt status quo. Any attempt to enforce accountability, implement performance management, or root out corrupt networks would meet fierce internal resistance, go-slows, and organised union opposition. At this critical juncture, firm and ethical leadership is not just a desirable quality. It is the only thing that can save Johannesburg from complete and utter ruin. The city has tried the alternative: weak, compromising, unstable leadership, and the result is the catastrophe we see today. What does firm, ethical leadership actually mean for the ordinary person on the street? It means having a mayor who puts the interests of the residents first, above the interests of their political party or their coalition partners. It means making decisions based on what is right for the city, not what is politically convenient. For the ordinary resident, this translates into tangible, life-changing improvements. It means when you report a burst water pipe, someone actually comes to fix it promptly, because the system is managed by competent people who are held accountable for their work. It means the rubbish is collected on schedule, because the contracts are awarded fairly, not to a politically connected crony with no trucks. It means the streetlights in your neighbourhood work, making it safer for your children to walk home, because the budget for maintenance is actually being spent on maintenance, not siphoned off into someone's pocket. This is not rocket science, it is the basic social contract. For the millions who call Johannesburg home, there really is no choice at all. Please like and subscribe.